Hi, John.
Hey, how's it going? Hi.
Good.
It's going good?
How are you? Yeah. For a second,
Nice.
I thought I was hearing things, but really it's just my headphones were transparent.
Got it.
So I was hearing things, but it was myself. I'm sorry I'm late. It's
That's
always
all right.
my fault.
You know what?
We always
Life
have holiday
sometimes...
concerts on Wednesdays. All our kids
Yeah.
always have concerts on Wednesdays.
When you say concert, what do you mean?
Orchestra concerts.
Okay.
Both my
And what do
kids
your
are in
daughters play?
orchestra. My older daughter plays the viola, and my younger daughter plays the violin. And my younger daughter's in 8th grade, so her concert was actually yesterday.
Okay.
It was originally supposed to be tonight with the high schoolers, except that there was a flood in our high school theater.
That
So,
sounds bad.
yeah, like a pipe burst in a floor, in like the upper floor, which they don't use because it's full of asbestos.
That's where they keep it.
Yeah. And it just like destroyed the theater, I guess. So they had to like move stuff around, and the 8th grader, instead of 8th grade going, whatever, you don't care. 8th grader
Yeah.
went yesterday, high schooler went tonight.
Got it.
But it's good. Like our orchestra is very, very good. Our high school strings program is really good. And it was like the Christmas program, so it was like a 20-minute long medley that they played towards the end of Christmas songs. It was wild. Anyways, now I'm here.
Yeah. Jess's choir concert, their like holiday themed one was last week.
Yeah.
And unless I'm mistaken, it was also on a Wednesday.
Yeah. It's a popular day to do this
Guess
kind
so.
of thing. Did you go? Did you attend it? Did you see it?
Yeah.
How was it? How did it go?
Jess did great.
No comments on the children.
You know, it's
They're not your children, so you don't have to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much. I'm there to support my wife.
Yeah. Good. You did your job.
I did my job.
Great work.
Thank you. I am wearing a holiday sweater.
Is that from Surly?
It
that
is.
a Surly holiday sweater? Wow,
Yep.
that's wild.
My brother-in-law, well, we were like there for something, and they have like a whole merch shop, and we were in there, and we thought, wouldn't it be so funny if we got these holiday sweaters? Because we were going to be together for the holidays, so he and I would wear this, and look at these two knuckleheads. But actually, it's like super comfortable, and I really like it.
Is it?
And the reason I'm wearing it today is because Jess, Jack, and I did our gift exchange today. Because we leave
cool.
for Arizona on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the weather while you're there?
Yes.
Is it
I
gonna be
cannot
nice?
wait. I was told to bring my swimsuit. And that's not always in play this time of year in Arizona. But, I mean, since climate change, more and more we're able to enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, we're only like 10
Pools.
years away from swimsuits in Minnesota in December.
There you go.
Probably.
Yep.
Cool. That's awesome. How did the gift exchange go? Everyone happy?
Good.
Excited?
I mean, the thing that was annoying is we had to order our gifts way ahead of time and really plan
Yeah.
this because the deadline isn't Christmas. The deadline is when we exchange. Two things didn't come on time, so that was a little annoying, but
That
whatever.
sucks.
Yeah.
Is Jack happy?
Yes, he got. We finally let him get Super Smash Brothers,
Nice.
and he's been asking for that game for years, so he's very excited.
That's awesome.
You
Has he played it
might
already?
know.
Did he open it up?
No, we didn't let him. We're mean parents.
Make him suffer.
You probably know
Wow.
that I am a big Star Wars fan, and that I'm also a big Lego fan. So this is the Millennium Falcon. I was gifted this year.
I thought you were gonna say that was
the
your
Dark
gift
Millennium
today,
Falcon.
and you already put it together.
No. So it's kind of like that, but it's black. It's the Dark Millennium Falcon, I think they call it.
Yeah.
And it has like Beach Luke Skywalker, and it's got Darth
Why?
Jar Jar, and like all these like, I don't quite know what the story is, but it looks badass, so that's why I put it on my
Yeah.
list. And I'm excited to break into that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's one. Are you taking it with you? You can say leave it at home.
No,
Probably
not
makes
at
sense. You don't want to take that on the plane, probably.
Don't want to bring it back.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could just like you could build it there, and then you just smash it to pieces and put it in your bag, and come back, and then build it again when you come back.
No, I'm not going to do that. We are behind the 8 ball, so we should start programming computers.
Yeah, that sounds good. John, do you feel like driving to start this?
We can try. I did clone down your project. I
Okay.
think I'm on latest. If you pushed latest, then I think I'm on
Yes,
latest.
it's all on main. Everything's on main, as far as I could tell.
And I just was looking at it in Vim and starting to get my head around what we were doing again.
What the F this is.
Yeah. What I'm not sure about is if we're going to want to run the thing. And I kind of forgot how to do that, so I might need a little direction on that front. But I will share my screen and we'll see how far we
Okay,
get.
that sounds good. Let's try it. Let's try it and see what happens.
And then I got, oh boy. Why? I already did this. Okay, there we go. Share. Oh boy. Tunnels. Okay. So, as I said, I've just been like looking at the code. I haven't been running this. I think the thing that there's a couple things that we hit on right towards the end of last session. I think the most impactful thing was the way that you can like navigate and like pull in another screen and kind of go into subcommands. That's
Yep, it's like nested.
You're nodding your head.
Nested action panels, I guess, is how I would describe it.
Yes, and so the first thing we see in this file is a routes object that is kind of like the data that powers these commands. But then the next thing is the sort of like the top level command, and then inside of it we map through those routes, and we either return a action panel for each of them that has an open in browser action or a push action, and this is the one that like quote unquote navigates. You can tell because it has this target, and then we pass like the next level of routes to that child actions, and off we go.
Yes. So I think
And
where
it's
we left off with
stuffed
this,
in here.
and I guess I should step back. The reason that I suggested in particular right now you drive on this is because the first thing on our list to tackle here was like, is there some refactoring we can do? Because we were fast and furious last time, right at the end. We were throwing spaghetti at the wall and then like making stuff work, and it worked. But we never really took any time to take a step back and look at it and say, is this actually what we want? So like, just as I look at this code right here in front of us, the first thing I see is like, okay, so we have this branch of this if else. There's definitely a little bit of duplication between those two things. Like, can that be extracted, etc. So that's kind of where I think we're headed with it. Don't mean to interrupt. You should keep explaining. Keep going. If there's more. For you to explain.
Just one more thing that I want to say, which is that right. So this line that this line 40. The target includes a rendering of child actions. So this is like the next, like when we push in with this new view, child actions is that new component. And so it's down here at the bottom of the file, starting on line 51. It gets in some sliced up part of that routes object so there's like a little bit of confusion here around naming, but ultimately we're kind of doing the same thing. It's just that in this case, our action panel is always open in browser actions, and it's not doing any of that pushing.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so I have a few thoughts, but one of them is I'd like to, maybe you can help me figure out what order to do these things in, but I want to know more about ultimately the shape of this routes object.
Okay.
I guess it's an array of objects, but
yes,
I want to know a little bit more about that because and I think we should extract these things into their own files. I think that's an improvement we could make.
Definitely.
But I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think there's a way to have a single recursive component. Can you do recursive components in React? Can you render?
I don't see why not. I mean, I think that like it's subject to the same problems that any recursion is, which is like if you don't actually end the recursion, you're just gonna you're
Sure.
gonna go forever.
Sure.
Um,
But like,
but
could
yeah,
I on
I think you
40
definitely
be
could.
like, could I be like, why am I doing this? Could I be like,
Well,
component?
hey, before we do anything, do you want to get it running
Oh,
first?
command.
Make sure it's running.
Huh, you can. Okay, yes, let's do what you just said. So I think what I need to probably do now is yarn install. And then I probably need to like yarn start.
I think so.
That'll probably, or is it y
No,
dev?
it's dev. Yeah, yarn run dev.
Yarn run dev.
This dev isn't. Oh no.
Ray command not
Command not
found.
found.
Ray develop. I did yarn install. So I would have thought. Oh, here I got an error.
there it is. Node
engine node
incompatibility.
incompatible. Got it. Okay, what's
Look
I
at
have
you,
no
off by
idea.
one-liner.
I have no idea what my current node version is. Okay, so I need to. Let's go back. I guess I'm way behind on being here. Tool versions. Okay, what's like a more modern Node.js version to be on?
22 is the current LTS.
What would you get for the point on that?
Oh, let me check to see what I have running. It's gonna take me a little bit because I'm.
You can just say ASDF current, and then you can just tell me what that says.
Well, or I can close windows all over the place because I don't know how to use my keyboard.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, this one's on 20.18. I know.
Should I just stick with that?
I'm on 22. Yeah, it's higher than 25. So
20.8, 20.18. Dot what?
dot zero, I believe. Let me just confirm. Yes, 2018.0.
Okay.
Hey, while we're on that subject, did you see our friend Justin from Artsy
Yes.
shared something on social media recently about some tool to replace ASDF that looks like it has a nicer API where you don't have to remember the arguments so much. Like that's
Is it
something I
like
really struggle with
Miso,
ASDF.
M-I-S-O?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like mise en place. It's mise, M-I-S-E, I think. But yeah, I genuinely struggle remembering the sequence of arguments to ASDF, where it'll take me like 5 tries just to figure out what are the versions of JavaScript that I can install or need to install, or Node.
Got it.
And that one looks like it kind of is smarter about it, which looks nice. I'm gonna make that change sometime.
Hey, look at that.
There it is. So if you just select go to, just hit enter. Oh, component is not defined. Something crashed. You didn't save any changes that you had made, right?
I must have. Yeah, I sure did. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so now I need to invoke. Hit enter. Hey,
Okay,
look
cool.
at that.
So now you get your list of actions, and then if you were to select Google, it would take you directly to Google. If you were to select GH, it would take you to 2 options that were configured and show another action panel with list items in it, like that. Docs
Ooh.
NB.
Is this complaining about keys?
I don't know. Yes, it looks like it. It's so hard for me to read your terminal, but yes. There you go. Now I can read it.
Okay. So we have like a few different ways to go here.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff for us to clean up.
Yeah. I guess what I was thinking about is how like our routes array has objects that then have routes that could match the shape of the outer route, and then you could conditionally render based on whether the route object you're in has subroutes or not. And then I think the same component could render at any level in that hierarchy, and you could theoretically construct your routes object as deep or as shallow as you chose to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
cool.
that's
So we're on the
absolutely
same
true.
page.
That
Okay.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. That is the thing. In theory, at least, because in practice, I'm probably never going to go deeper than like 3 levels. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's just not. It doesn't make sense to me to go that deep. For me to go to that deep, but I think from an implementation perspective, it absolutely makes sense to do this in a recursive way where we're just like keep rendering the same thing if that's what the next child is, or like what the next level deep is.
Yep. So the only thing I'm not 100% sure on is whether we can use our default export command, because like the props that it's getting is like from what am I trying to say? Is like from Raycast, and so we're a little more locked to like what props is on 25. Like we can't even really we can't exactly define that.
Are you
Tell me.
sure?
Tell me.
Well, I'm wondering. I mean, theoretically, if I was going to implement something like this, it's a TypeScript file, TSX.
Yeah.
So I would implement the arguments, the props to command as a generic, so that I could tell it what the arguments themselves, what shapes the arguments were going to be, as like it'd be like command angle brackets, whatever routes shape. So I'm just wondering if command actually takes, if we can specify a type, something like that.
I mean, I don't know that. Do we even do anything with props? So that's like another aspect of this, right? That like.
I mean, yeah, and there's red squiggles all over the place. Like we're definitely.
Sure. Okay,
kinda,
let's clean
not
that up
typing
first.
things properly.
Okay, so we at one point we're using detail. We don't need it anymore. DT.
It's like watching myself
Oh my god.
in a mirror.
Change to. Give myself that. Okay. Then, since we don't give a shit. Oh boy. About what comes into this function, can we not just do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hey. Sorry. Another thing that we don't need is we have those 2 text boxes that show up, like
Oh, right.
in the command line. Like we can clean that stuff up too. That might be related to this also. Like maybe that's why we were using props in the past. Is I guess what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's in here.
Yep.
And one other, well, isn't it like, do we have more than one command?
We don't. We only have one command. We
One
talked about
command.
making more than one command.
Oh, with multiple arguments, right. So we don't need any of this stuff.
Right.
And in fact, should be like that, right?
I think so. Yeah, so all of that points to, I think, what you're describing to me, that if we don't need arguments, we don't need props. You know what I mean? If there are no
Right.
arguments into the command, I don't know why we would have props into the command on the React side.
So I might be jumping ahead. Oops.
Okay.
But I have this thought that like maybe there's a default export called command, and its only job is to start the recursion by picking out the first routes and sending it in, and then from then on. So but there ends up being 2 components. One component is command, which is the thing that kicks it off, and then there's like some other component, route list or whatever we want to call it, and then it is recursively called with more and more, with like deeper nesting of routes.
Yeah. I think that aligns with my thoughts also.
Nice.
Are you in a runnable state right now?
I think I am runnable, but I think I'm not quite over the hump of being TypeScript compliant. Let's see. So let me do this. That's the wrong thing. Go to. Oh, you know what? Before I go any further, I want to make an improvement here.
Okay.
I think it's this. Yeah. I want to make a single key to open this thing.
Yeah.
That is advanced. No, that is extensions. Yeah, here.
Yes, it's
Okay.
under extensions.
Yeah, right here. So
Weirdly.
go to is here. It's registered. So I can add an alias for what? Oh no, not alias. Hotkey. Okay, so I just told it that. Sorry.
What keystroke is, or what key combination is that? I can't quite see it.
That is hyper plus G
What?
for go to.
Wait. What did you just open?
Oh, buddy. So, the people that make Ergodox make a tool called Keymap.
Of course.
And
it's
it
locked.
is-
It's vendor locked.
Mwah! It is the best.
Great. I love
So
that you
good.
have an on-screen display.
Yeah.
I very much want
It's-
that.
Yeah,
I
it's the
believe that I
best.
have shown you this. This is my key map right now.
This is actually what unlocked split keyboards for me and made me able to stick with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole point was I want to record this hotkey because now
What is
I
the
can
combination?
So it's hyper plus G.
Ah, yeah, you have the hyper key. What's the symbol for hyper? I'm sorry, these are all distraction questions, but
It sort of
all
looks
new
like
to
like a 4-pointed star.
like a throwing star.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay,
But it's like elongated.
sure. Okay, continue.
This is going to podcast. Okay, so now instead of doing command spacebar and then typing that, I can simply do hyper G, and I've already picked that I want the go-to command. I'm ready to rock. This is what you should do, and
This
once
is what
you
I
get
do
there,
with my regular one. Yeah, with the one that I already have, that's what I do.
nice. Okay, so I'm in a runnable state. I will prove that to you now by hitting GH. We still have that, but that's okay. That's a
Should I be writing these
Warning
all these
more
different
than an
things
error.
down on my whiteboard so that we don't lose track of them?
Sure, you can. And I'm gonna hit docs, and then I went to the Camunda docs site.
Perfect.
Okay, let's get back to Vim no longer yelling at me about TypeScript errors. And I think I'm gonna just kind of keep rolling here. So I guess what's happening now is I'm left to either annotate this thing as an any, I think, or I have to define an interface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we can totally write types.
And I think it would be like
Interfaces, types,
this.
whatever.
Route. And then I think I would say something like names. Wow, I've written this stuff in so long. URL.
Do you not write it during your day job anymore?
Not if I can help it. All right.
You're just
and
never
then,
touching the TypeScript?
So then, this is an object that has a key called routes that goes to an array of route. So would this be
Yeah.
route?
So typically what you would do, I'm sorry, I get to say this because I've heard it so many times from Rails developers. What's the word that they use?
Convention?
No,
No.
that's not idiomatic.
Ah.
The idiomatic way
Yes.
to do this in React would be you're actually going to define an interface for the child actions props type. So you'd have like an interface child actions props, basically. So then in child actions, that thing would just inherit from the props type.
And this would have routes.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
an array of route. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. Okay, so then, then what I do is I'm struggling
now
on
it's-
where it goes.
Yeah.
Is it so I don't need that anymore.
Correct.
Maybe I do it here?
I think that's actually correct.
Wow.
Hey, nailed it.
Did it in one. Okay. Okay.
If you scroll further down, does that accommodate all of the code
Somebody's
below?
still pissed. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Right. Okay, because what we need to bubble this up now, basically. You know what I mean?
Explain more. Nope.
Like
Explain more.
now this needs to be adhering to
Oh, that
this.
needs to be typed. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
So I guess what I would do is oh boy. Okay, and then we just gotta kind of switch some things around here. So we used to be calling these code. Let's call them name again. And then, and we gotta recur in here.
Yeah.
Oh, can you do this?
I think you can. I think you should be able to. It should be optional though, right? Like we definitely want to make that an optional thing.
Well, you tell me. I would by like my go-to is with arrays. Don't make them optional. Just make them be empty if you don't have any of them.
My go-to is to not include anything that doesn't exist.
Sure.
That's fine.
Okay.
We can
Let's
do
do it
empty.
your way.
Doesn't bother me.
Okay. Doesn't bother you. Okay.
You're driving. You're driving.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go back and not even open a PR. I'm just gonna fix it.
Property routes is missing in type.
Right, because it's not optional.
All right. So this is how we communicate that is that is the end of the line for this.
Oh, does TypeScript have? I think the way that you define the array of route in TypeScript means that it has at least one item. Versus, I think if you were to define it as array angle brackets route, I think that means that it can be 0.
Oh my god,
you know
that's
what I mean?
so weird. Is it like this?
No. So the word array, capital A. Array.
Oh, okay. Is it like this?
Capital A. Capital A.
It is capital A?
Look at it, even suggested. Okay, so now go check and see if that accommodated it.
Whoa.
Yes. Okay.
well,
So that at
like,
least
let's
allows
be
us to have.
consistent.
But let's take like a second back, take a step back to like rejoice in that magic, that syntactical magic of TypeScript, where like depending on how you describe your array, you can tell it if it has items or not. Great.
I don't know if
Not
I
great?
feel the
I don't know.
same
It is
rejoice
it is
that
a
you
thing.
do.
I don't know that I feel that great about it either. Actually.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to keep going. So, we need
Yes.
to define on 15. Tell this
Because
one,
it's
this
not
is the end of the line. Okay, we're real close. Oh, well, I don't really understand that error, but I know that...
What does the end of it say? I can't see underneath the StreamYard logo.
I
All I
also
see is
can't see it all.
type.
Do I get that? Like, where is that feedback? Is it only source has 2 elements, but target allows only one?
Because of the way you define it again. Yeah, so it's not even like it can be one or more. It is literally an array of one route. Is how you describe that type. No, it's at the top. It's at the top. Line 3.
Oh my god. Thanks. We're gonna get there.
It's all good. I don't really write that much TypeScript right now either, so I'm very happy that like that we weren't stuck on this for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Did you make the squiggles go away?
We're close. Now we need to change the outer, like the initial rendering, because we used to call these something else. So that's name. I believe this is name. Ah, okay. And then yeah, it's just the
really
name.
you like that property.
No more squiggles.
Good job.
TypeScript is
If
no
I
longer
could throw up a
me.
party emoji thing, I think I can play music.
I guess I should probably like make a commit.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Wow, look how long it's been since you're like not even on my list anymore. All right, now I gotta remember to spell your goddamn GitHub handle. Can we swear
You want
on
me to
this?
just tell you?
No, I want to have to do
Can
it.
you Can you pronounce it out loud?
I can say it fine, P. Popowitz. But no, what? You've never told me that was wrong.
It's P. Popowitz.
P. Popowitz.
Yep, and definitely not P. Poopowitz,
No.
which I have also typed myself many times.
Okay, I guess I'm surprised by this. Sorry. I am all over the place. Git status. Tells me that I have yarn lock changes. I'm surprised by
You're running
that.
a different version of Node than I am, so maybe.
Like who cares? Just do it.
Yeah, I think it's like a dependency of a dependency of a dependency, probably.
Okay, so I'm gonna git add package JSON, and I'm gonna remove command arguments.
Yep.
And then this is like I swear I know how to use my keyboard, and then I can be like, here, amend, and then if I show it, look, you're co-authored. Okay, cool. Then I'm just gonna get a dot here and be like, clean up TS. Yeah?
Yeah, that works for me.
I mean,
It's
not the best,
better than
but-
Batman.
Yeah, it's better than Batman. Okay. Now can we extract?
Great.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I would think this is maybe called like routes.tsx? No, TS, right? Because it's just going to be like this JavaScript
Yeah.
object
Yep.
pulled out. Maybe that's where we actually stick some of that interface information, and then we import it into this file. Okay, cool.
I think that sounds right. Yep.
So
This feels like the lowest level thing that has this shape.
Yeah.
So the interface should live there.
Okay, that's good red. It's good red all over. Okay, I need this guy. I need to export. Oops.
Probably going to want to also export the interface.
Thank you. I was just pondering that. Okay, so it's fair for this interface to be here because this interface belongs to this component.
Yes.
We have two components in here, and I probably would want to export one of them, but let's walk before we run. So I think the next thing I should be doing is importing... oh, interesting. So route and routes?
Yep.
Does that look right to you?
It does, because they both got moved. And on line 7, we use the routes array.
I just meant the casing is a little goofy for me.
Oh, got it. With route being capital and routes being lowercase.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Okay, that's
yeah.
that's
So like
conventional, idiomatic maybe.
It's idiomatic JavaScript, yes. Idiomatic React, I guess, because well, and TypeScript. The route is a type. Types are usually, or interface, whatever, same thing.
Yeah.
Those are usually capitalized, or what case is that? Pascal case. Pascal case.
Okay.
And then routes is some JavaScript object. Those are usually camel case, like starting lower. And then React components and the props associated with them are usually uppercase. So like on line 2, you see those are all React components that are coming in.
Yeah. Yep, totally. Okay, well, if you're good with this, I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Let's go make another commit. Make sure yep. Extract route info. Okay, we're making progress. So now, like, I mean, I do want to revisit this routes file, but I'm almost like, just want to close it for now and then kind of look again at what it would take to basically like push some of this stuff into like I want to use I want command to render child actions even for the top level.
Yeah. Yep.
I said that. Okay. And so I think what it would do is it would would it just like return? Is this like, I'm making this too easy? Child actions, routes.
I think that makes sense, yeah. I don't know if child actions is the correct component, if it's a different thing.
That's this one.
Yeah. But I mean, is child actions and whatever the thing that we just referenced, are those the exact same thing, or are they different in your mind?
Right. So what I'm saying is command must inject the top level routes so that the next render inside of child actions can do
Yes.
a subsection of that.
Yes.
Is that not what
absolutely
you're
great.
asking me? Okay.
That's not what I'm asking you. I guess what I'm asking you is the code from line 7 to 22 looks to 7 to 24
Basically-
looks pretty different than the code in child
Yeah.
actions. So what I'm wondering is what
think
you're
we just
doing
wanna
makes
grab
sense.
all
Like
this.
line 5, yes, we're going to push routes into something. I don't know if child actions is the thing, I guess.
I
is
think we
what I'm
just put
saying.
all this in here.
You think you want to just do all the logic in there? Okay.
Yeah. Like let's
Okay.
just.
Cool.
This is fun for me to see a little.
To see if all of a sudden the screen goes
Yeah.
black because you've completely
I bet this works.
infinite looped yourself.
What do you think? What's your?
I don't.
hunch?
I don't know. I don't know why it was so different in the previous child actions. Like, what was so different about it?
Well, it's because we
I
didn't
didn't
have
spot
that
that.
fork in the road. In the previous version of this, the fork in the road
Wasn't
happened
there
in the
something
parent.
different too?
Let me rewind here. And I'll just comment that out for now. And then I will put these side by side so that
Yeah, perfect.
we can
Yes,
see
that's great.
this.
Okay, so list.item. Yeah, so like on the right, we're using list.item. On the left, we're using just an action panel. No list.item.
No, check it out.
And maybe that's
Look at 24.
wrong. Oh, down there. Got it. Okay, cool.
It's just
And then
because of
on
that
the right
fork
is
in the
open
road.
browser, on the left was Okay, cool.
Because that fork in the road is so chatty in the source code, it's almost hard to see, but it is doing the same thing.
Okay, cool. I'm sold. Yeah, let's try it and see what
Cool.
happens.
All right, so I'm going to uncomment that line. I'm going to grab, I went too far. I'm going to grab all this stuff, and then I'm going to replace the guts of child actions with said stuff. And I think what will happen is command will render. We're ignoring whatever props were passed in. And instead, we're just rendering child actions with all of our route information. Then, as that one renders, it maps through its array of routes. And there's a fork in the road, and if there aren't any routes at the next level, then those routes are all just open in browser actions. However, if there are any sub-routes, those are all then sent in to a next child actions component with an action.push. And this
Yep.
target causes like basically a slide in, and you're on to the next level of your routes.
Right. Can you scroll further down
That's it.
so we can see where
and
they
they get
return the list
injected
item?
into list items, yeah.
And it's just based on whichever branch we got into. Okay, yeah. Seems like it should work.
I think it will. Okay, so then we do hyper-G, and we go to GH, and it worked.
Look at
I mean,
that.
there's seemingly
And now you pick
no
one.
problems there.
Yeah. And your terminal previously was showing probably unrelated errors or different errors. Where were you seeing the index or the key?
The key,
Error
yeah. How come that
from
key
React.
error didn't happen? It was in here. So I'm gonna-
Is it because we removed the code that wasn't using a key to iterate?
No, we should definitely have a key.
We should have a key error.
Yeah, when this renders. Oh.
But
We
we
were-
removed half of the code.
Yeah.
And that one does have the key on
Yep,
it right there.
you're totally right.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep,
cool.
you're totally right.
So we solved
bec-
that problem too. Good job.
Yeah, tight. Look at us.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is a commit, right? Where are we at here?
I think so. I have one more refactor in that file, but I think we can do that separate. Recursion.
Recursion to render levels, to render route levels. Something, I don't know if levels is the right word there, but, oh, and then, okay. I mean, my next refactor would be an extraction. Do you want to do that first, or do you want to hit what was...
Describe what you mean. Extract what?
I just want to
Child
make
actions?
command and child actions be in two different
Okay.
files.
That's fine. We can do that first. Let's do that. The only thing that I'm hanging on to is just 19 and 25.
Yeah.
We're duplicating the action panel, but on 31
Yeah.
we're not duplicating list item. So
Yeah.
it's just one or the other. I don't really care which, just like be consistent.
Yeah.
We either duplicate all of it or we don't duplicate any of it.
Yeah, I think what was unclear to me when we were authoring this to start was whether or not we'd have multiple actions inside the action panel.
Yeah, for sure.
And it turns out it's just one per
For sure.
thing. At this
You
point.
know what I was just thinking though too
What?
is it might be nice to duplicate all of it because maybe we want to use a different icon for items that
nice.
have more children versus items that are a leaf.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like that idea.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Either way,
let's-
just like I don't like.
Let's
the
come
fact
back to that.
we're doing a little bit of each.
Let's get. Also, I guess we should call this something else. What about like route list?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Works for me.
So in this SRC folder,
Viewers
maybe.
should know that John spends a lot of time trying to come up with good names for things,
And
and I usually just don't give a shit.
yeah. All right, so we're gonna need route, but not routes. Change to,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna need this one. We are gonna need that. Probably gonna need to export this,
Yep.
and then we should call this route list. Oh, I got rid of some other imports that I definitely need.
Yep.
And then 22 needs to be updated because I changed this to be route list. Okay.
Do we want to change the props name also?
Great. Thank you. Oops. Route list props. I should have done some change to the P. I could have done some like replace in file, but
Find and
that's
replace. Yeah.
yeah, that's okay.
It's all good.
I'm thinking I got all the things. So then in here, I'm thinking we just need routes out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we probably just need route list from route list. I don't see that we would need that. And then this is going to be route list routes.
I think you're
All
right.
that goes away. Doesn't that look
That makes
nice?
sense. That's as nice as your sweater.
I mean, this is
Is it
making
a-
this is scratching some itches for me.
Like sweaters are itchy, is what you mean?
Yeah.
Is it like a legitimate sweater where like it's like yarn?
Yeah.
Knit?
So
It's knit.
sometimes when you see these, they're like t-shirt material
Yeah,
or like
that's what I was wondering.
That's not what this is.
No, this is a real
This
legitimate
is
thing.
this is a little spendy.
That's awesome.
All right. Let's see. So what this is extract component to render list of routes. Experiment.
Hey.
Okay. Now I'm interested
Cool.
in taking a step back and thinking about, some of what you were talking about the duplication and kind of like where are we headed here? Because even here, we were like, I remember kind of fumbling with this a little bit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not
We were
don't,
both
don't
thinking
love
different
this.
things when we
Yeah,
wrote
we
this
got to
down.
thinking different things. Like
I think we ended up with something like neither of us are happy with.
Right.
Because we were like, I was trying to think about what you were saying and what I was thinking too.
yeah. So like, what's a nicer way to do this?
Well, so right now, we know that the unique things in this branch are the action open in browser on 16 and action.push on 22. Everything else appears to be the same, the way that we have it right now. So yeah, I mean, to me, that feels like the obvious first step is like, let's just move that action panel, push it into 27, since it's not really distinct between the two of them. Looking to the future, I do think there is a case where I might want to use a different icon for line 27, but I think that I would rather account for that when we decide to do that, or like when we come up with the list. Although maybe it's not a big deal. Like maybe we can just come up with like a couple of pings really easily. That would be it. But I don't know what they would be, or where we would get them. So I want to kick that can down the road.
Okay. Before we make that choice, another thought that's occurring to me is rather than like, can we do a little less work in the route list component by creating a, I know it's components up down like everywhere, but like what if we made a leaf panel and a branch panel or something?
Yeah.
And then
that
like
seems nice.
Okay, so let's just tinker
Let's
with
try
this,
it.
and if we like it, we like it. If we don't, that's fine too. No, I almost did it. I know you hate const functions. Okay, so it's going to be like leaf list, maybe?
I didn't know that I projected that as much.
Yeah, you do.
Or like, you knew that.
Yeah,
But you're
I
right.
do.
I do hate that.
I know. I think I do this. This is a little awkward for me, but okay, so we'll be in a list, and ultimately we need to return the list item. So this is leaf list item.
Yes. Okay. That makes more sense.
Okay. Yeah, I like it when we're kind of like using some of the Raycast language in these, but anyway. Okay, so list item. So you could imagine following like the declarative pattern here that this would just be like leaf icon PNG.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, but like the rest of it is likely the same. Oh, right. Okay, and then so like the punchline is we're gonna not do that way. You're not talking, John. There's just something about the way this looks. Should I just like make a const?
Because child action is basically what we're gonna copy from lines 20 through 24, I think, right? Do I have the right branch? Oh no, it's actually 14 through 18 because that's the one where the rows that length is 0. Yep. Yeah, let's start as close to where we were as possible, and then get it working, and then morph it into what we want. You want curly braces around route: on 33. And actually,
Is
I don't
it
even think
like
that's gonna work.
this?
It's your.
Oh, I need props.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit verbose here.
Oh, there's even maybe a generic here, but I'm gonna come back to that. Route.
Yep.
Okay, then this is gonna be leaf list item. Oh, come on, John. I swear I've used a keyboard before.
Perfect.
Now, I should be able to...
So the only red on there was that it's not used, correct?
Right, correct.
Okay.
So I think ultimately what we're probably going for is return leaf list item. Oops. Didn't start off my bracket.
Yep.
And it'd be like route.
Right.
Close her up. As you've been seeing me type this out, did you think of a good name for... Oh, actually, I want to rewind that because I want to get this one out. What are we going to call the sibling of leaf list?
The other one?
Yeah.
Branch? Is it a branch or a trunk? In terms of tree lingo?
Look, I'm not a tree doctor, okay?
I mean, haven't you ever had to balance a binary tree in an interview before?
I never have.
Just kidding. I never have.
Branch list item. And then we're going to take this stuff.
I feel like I should know what these things are, though. It's going to bother me.
Okay, now it's just mad because it's not used. but you're gonna love this branch list item. And then look how nicely this cleans up. No intermediate variables. Yeah, that's what you want. What do you think?
I'm trying to figure out what the name of that stupid thing is. Sorry. Branches, right? Let's go with branch.
I guess I could call this list or like route list item props since it shares.
Oh, sure. It's used in both places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, realistically though, like this is now where we'd want to get into if we were good TypeScript developers, we wouldn't want this to be the same type. We would want it to be different because a leaf is never ever going to have any items in that array. Do you know what I mean? So we would want it to be a route where either there is no routes property or the routes property is only ever an empty array. I don't care that much.
I wonder if there'd be a interface that's like a leaf route. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Okay, let's not do it. Or at least
Yes,
not right
that's
now.
exactly what I'm thinking.
You're totally right. I don't care and I don't want to do it right now.
We're not going to fight over this.
We can fight over better things than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of like how this is shaping up. Is there even like a cuter way to do this?
Routes.map. I mean, I don't think that I would want to cutify that. What are you thinking about making it cuter? Yeah, like, are you thinking like a what is that expression type? Question mark and colon.
Oh, a ternary.
Ternary expression? Is that what you're thinking, or are you thinking something different?
But even like saying it out loud, I don't like it.
Yeah.
This is very readable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's not over.
It's maybe not the most terse we could write it.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't
We're
win
not,
any cold golf, but
yeah.
nobody's going to look at it and say, I don't know what this is doing.
Steve, I just looked at the clock and it's 10:03.
Oh, we should be done. We started late. Did you want to go full hour, or did you want to stop at the top of the hour? Should we wrap it up here?
Well, I just feel bad for our fans. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep them.
I know. That's fine. They can stay.
Did you even look? I didn't even look to see if anybody was.
No, we've had
watching.
zero the whole time.
Okay, great, super. Okay, let's get a commit in because this is definitely a commit point regardless. And the commit is extract item component.
Leaves and branches.
Extract leaves and branches. Okay, we did good tonight. Let's make that a little bit nicer. So we cleaned up our manifest file, the package.json, which is what's being used by Raycast to do some configuration of our extension, including it was taking arguments. Don't need them. That was just us faffing around trying to figure out the hell we were doing. We had a bunch of like TypeScript stuff that was all over the place. We cleaned that up. We extracted that route info to its own file. At some point in this project's history, you're gonna probably have to go in there and like configure that object the way you actually want.
Yes.
All of these nested commands to behave. That's a exercise for the reader, so to speak.
I think that there's more logic to come out of that too.
Oh, okay.
Like if you remember, I was doing wildcard stuff where
Right.
I think there's something to figure out there. Like, what do we do about the wildcards? And maybe it is just I don't know what it is, but it might be using arguments of some sort.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, we moved that route info in a separate file, made an interface along the way. Then we realized that we could use the command component and the child something component and actually recur through that list of routes. Then we extracted that to its components rendered lists, right? So they moved it to its own file, and then we extracted the leaf and branch components. So it's a little more declarative to say, based on how many routes are in this particular, how many sub routes are in a given route, we either go leaf or branch. That can now evolve sort of independently as they need to. And let's make sure it still works. Boom. Fast and nice.
Perfect.
Ooh. It is, now it's mad about keys.
Ooh, what happened? It's mad about what?
Keys. I didn't,
Didn't bring those over? But you
I did.
did.
Oh, but like in the wrong spot.
Yeah. Yep,
I gotta
exactly,
do it
up there.
Here. Yeah.
13 and 15 need a key.
Oops. Name? Thank you. This is a little less cute to me now, but that's okay. And now I don't need them here.
Probably don't need them here. Yeah.
How come someone's not formatting this for me?
I was gonna say, you're just gonna leave those double spaces in there?
I wasn't trying to.
Monster.
Like some kind of villain. Okay. Okay, we're just shatter that right back in, like it never happened. Okay, I mean, this is great. I'm happy. Oh, I should verify that that no longer does that. Hey, look at that. No key errors.
That's good.
Okay, we did it.
That's awesome, John.
I see you writing maybe some stuff. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm writing some stuff down. First of all, I'm gonna rename this stream because we didn't do anything with mapping the data rules. I think I was getting ahead of myself there. I'm gonna rename this one because it's really about refactoring and recursion. And I was realizing on my drive home from the concert today that like I fill these videos in with such vague nonsense, not really pertinent descriptions that it's not very good for searchability if someone wants to learn about any of this stuff. So I'm gonna correct the name of this one, and then next time I think it is more about I'll take a look at the rules that I do have, and at the very least I know that there's wildcards, but I think there might be some other things too that we might need to account for in that route list stuff.
How close do you think we are to this Raycast extension like being the one that you use?
I mean, if we can account for me passing arguments, we're there.
Then we're there? Okay.
We're there. Yeah.
Nice.
I guess that's what I'm saying is like I need to go back and look at that that JSON object that I have and make sure that everything is covered by those. But I think that is the case. That's the only thing that's left.
Awesome.
So yeah, you crushed it, nailed it. You were like, I'm gonna be so slow, and yet you just did the whole project. So.
Oh shucks.
Story of my life.
Yeah. So fast and so good at computers.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Great stream, Steve.
Great stuff.
And I love you so much.
Stuff things. Yep. Love you too. Bye.
Okay, bye. Love you too. Bye.